Alright guys, it is Sunday, Abyssal Expedition has ended, and it's time to return to the Nightmare Corridor and the Cursed Realm. I'll also show you guys some Abyssal Expedition info at the end of this video, if you guys are interested. But let's get the actual things out of the way first. So for the Nightmare Corridor, I just spent 10 attacks. Again, I'm in a very easy region, so my Nightmare Corridor teams are not as researched as they should have been, but here they are anyways. For the first team, it's the Scarlet team. Again, play around with Ivan's Haste. I removed Boots, and that gave me 5 seconds on this team. As for the collection, you just grab full attack everywhere. Excuse me. You just grab full attack everywhere and a +2 collection on Ivan, and you should be good to go. The next team is the Rem team. Now I'm using Thorin in here. If you have SI40 Thorin, he wants to go in the last team. For me, I only have him at SI30, so he goes in this team. As for the Ren team, you just stack full attack everywhere, HP on Thorin, and then obviously a defense on Misha, and then a +2 Rowan collection somewhere in here. And then as for Rem, yeah, just some physical pierce or a strong attack collection +1 type. Source collection will be fine. Next team, this is the Vika team. Same story as always, a +2 Rowan collection somewhere in here, and then it's just full attack everywhere else, and a strong attack collection on Vika. Next team, we have the Baden Trashir team. As for, again, as per usual, it's full attack everywhere, except for Aurelia. She wants as much erosion as you can get. And ideally, you want another +2 Rowan in here. For me, I don't have enough +2 to fill the quota for this week, because my next team requires 2 +2 collections. At least it did for me to make it work. So this is the what's he called? Liberta team. For the Liberta team, you want Authors to have the lowest health. I just removed his gear. A timeline watch on Authors, some magic pierce in here, and then +2 here and +2 here on Shuna and Liberta, and then some full attack on this type of collection, another watch for Vithiel. And that should yield you a 10 to 11 second round. And then last but not least, here is where you would put your Thorin if you have him at SI40. Again, I don't have him at SI40, so I'm using Eugene as a replacement. That's not Eugene, this is Gavius. I'm using Gavius as a replacement, and that is about 5 seconds slower. For the collections, full attack everywhere, and a +2 Rowan collection here, and you should be good to go. Alright, let's head into something that's a little more researched by my by me, and that is the hell that is this Cursed Realm round. So as you can see, my best hit was 145 billion damage, and I hit it like here, right? And look at the amount of retries I had since then, and nothing improved. Yeah, this is absolute RNG hell. If you get a good hit, I advise you to just save your diamonds and your sanity. Right, for the first team here, I'm using a Yennefer variant I stole from Ryzen. There are a bunch of non-Yennefer variants. If you don't have Yennefer, again, I'll show you guys some variants at the end of the video. Yennefer is actually quite a weak variant, but it does free up other heroes for the other teams that gain me more damage in there. For the collection, you want Insight here, defense, ideally +1 on Lucius, erosion here, and then just full attack elsewhere. I don't even have a full attack on her, because I ran out of full attack collection, mage collections, which we will see here. This is the Belinda team. Interestingly enough, you want SP effect on what's she called? On Chimera. As for Chimera, you will just want a lot of health. Here you want full attack, here you want full attack, here you want insight, ideally, and full attack, if you have that, and then just a strong Belinda collection. And I should say that this round is RNG, this round is RNG, this round is also RNG. I've hit 24 billion with this round, and I've hit 11 billion with this round. This just turned out to be a medium hit for my standards anyways. I will also show you guys a variant without Melion, if you guys don't have him invested. But he wants insight. Here you want full attack. Here you just want full attack on this type of collection. For Gwyneth, yeah, strong ranger collection. And then a +2 on Silas. And this is an RNG round. Speaking of RNG rounds, here's another RNG round. I have hit 28 billion damage on this round once in like 60 attempts. So it is theoretically possible to hit 28 billion here, and I'll also show you guys the hit, but it's extremely rare. Anyways, these are the collection setups. Again, I'm merking this Sora, so she has quite the fat collection. For the other ones, Magic Pierce here, full attack here, and +1 effect here, or just HP and Thorin. Either one works fine. As for this one, is actually somewhat stable for me, but it should be hitting a lot higher, and I'm not sure what I'm doing wrong, but yeah, this can hit a lot higher, I know, but mine just can't. Maybe it's SI40 Yorin. Could probably be that. For Yorin, I'm using my Gwyneth collection. Inside here, defense here, and then inside here. And then last but not least, the only, and this is also somewhat RNG, and then last but not least, the only non-RNG team, the only stable team, this is just a stable 31 billion, no matter what you do. You just have to make sure Liberta links correctly, and you just want strong attack here, full attack here, and I guess you can guess it, full attack here, and guess what? It's also full attack here, right? So that is the Cursed Realm round, and this is truly a cursed Realm round. I do want to show you guys the 1 in a billion Sora hit. Is it here? Yeah, here it is. So yeah, she can do 28 billion. It happened once. So I'm not the one to say what causes this, but yeah, couldn't replicate it in 50 hits, even though I tried. So yeah, just settled with 23 billion. But again, 1 RNG round, 2 RNG rounds, 3, 4, 5 RNG rounds, and then 1 stable round. Complete hell. Definitely one of my least favorite Cursed Realm rounds. All right, quickly, I want to head over to Reddit and shout out, well, he's also in my guild, but Manuel Alcayaga, who makes these weekly guides. These are pretty much what I base my teams upon. What I end up basing my teams upon more often than not is actually looking at people on the leaderboard. For this week, I looked at Ryzen, who's he's region 28, but he isn't mentioned here. But yeah, it has some variants, right? So I was talking about this Yennefer, which isn't even listed here, the Yennefer variant. You can use like Shuna, Mortis, Rosa, Nox, stuff like that instead here. This is, you're just locked into this and whatever strong collections you have for this. Here, I talked to you guys about a non-million damage round. Obviously, these ones are using LAN. I'm not using LAN, so you would probably end somewhere down here. 19 billion is also like acceptable. And then for round 4, right, it's the Sora round. As you can see, there are some variants. All of them actually contain Sora. So yeah, might have to merc her for this week. Last but and then we have Yorin round, and then lastly the Trashia Liberta round. All right, so if you just came here for the those teams, that's it. There will be no Quest Realm and Nightmare Corridor content, but there will be a little Abyssal Expedition showcase, because I'm really proud of I almost said my guild, but our guild. This time we ranked in the rank 25, and it's the very first time we've been able to kill the boss. We killed it just before quiet time yesterday, and I was pretty lucky because, as you can see here, some people killed it during quiet time. So yeah, we had to get a little bit of a move on. As for where I ranked here, doing, let's just say I did 4 trillion damage. That boosts my ego, but yeah, barely missing out on 4 trillion damage. Not as bad as Third Man, because yeah, he was very close. But yeah, almost 4 trillion damage. And I guess I could show you guys my teams, since next Abyssal Expedition will be a new boss, so I can just leak the teams for this boss, no problem. Right, let me just head over to the browser. So here are my teams. So most of these teams, or I would say all of these teams, are known by most people if you play competitive Abyssal Expedition. But here are like the damage numbers I was able to get out the teams. So for the Gwyneth team, like I was, there was some tech. I don't know how much I can leak, but basically you could increase your damage a lot on live hits, on the actual boss hits, by having lower mage relics and lower tank relics. So I abused that to get like a 49 or 51 billion Gwen hit on average. If I was willing to take, what is she called? if I was willing to take Rosaline to a plus 40 and Silas to a plus 40, I would probably have been able to hit in the like 56 billion range. But it was a little too steep investment for me to be willing to do it for the Abyssal Expedition. Like I already summoned Gwyneth, and that was like my input for this Abyssal Expedition, which helped me out a lot and helped out the guild a lot, so that's nice. For the next team, this was the Leica team. For this Leica team, again, all you needed was 4.0 mage. That's all Aurelia needed, and also all that Damien needed. As for this team, there was a little bit of playing around with the tree, and there's a lot of playing around with the with the tree here. I won't get into the tree because that's boring, but yeah, I also have a lot of spreadsheets where I tested breakpoints. But for this team, at very low boss health, I was able to do almost 29 billion or around 29 billion damage with my sustenance tree at level 2. So that was quite fun, hitting very high towards the final end of the Abyssal Expedition. For the rest of the teams, they were pretty stable. Again, like, you know, the Yoran team, there wasn't much RNG. For the Trashia team, there was a bit of RNG. I'm pretty sure I could have fixed it. I just got lazy because I spent so much time on my first 2 teams. And honestly, the last team here, there were better team 5s, usually, like, but my thought is, because you could make a team down here with Nox instead of, well, basically fitting Nox into the Athalia team, and that would do around 15 billion damage. But you would lose, or I lost around 2 billion damage on this team. So my thoughts were, because I slot this team 3rd and I slot this team last, surely like the 2 billion damage increase overall might even out because I had more stamina on this team. But I think that ended up being a slight mistake, honestly. But yeah, honestly, who's to say at the end of the day? Overall, though, I'm very happy with my performance, and I'm also very happy with my guild performance. And the reason I'm leaking the strats is because I think we are going to have some spots opening up in the guild. So if you guys want to join like a competitive Abyssal Expedition guild, feel free. Like, you don't have to be too scared. Like, we will definitely guide you along the way. But for where we're at on the leaderboard, like, we do need stronger accounts. But honestly, like, having a strong account is low-key secondary, because all you need is just the willingness to like listen and learn and test your teams. A good example is Ali down here, almost doing 3 trillion damage. Again, he's not very high RC, and he's like a newer account, doing very well. And I believe he even had to like kill minions. I can't remember, but yeah, like, you don't have to be like a turbo strong whale account. You just have to like, obviously there's like a benchmark for heroes that you need, but once you hit that benchmark, you're pretty much good to go. You just need to be willing to tweak your comps, and most people aren't willing to tweak their comps. That's why competitive Abyssal Expedition, it's usually just the same players, because it is quite tedious, right? You have to like find your own breakpoints, and a lot of the time, especially with collections, like, you have to test, because not everyone has the same collections, right? So you have to test like what collection works for you and whatnot. But yeah, basically I'm just advertising that if you guys are looking for like a competitive guild, we are currently recruiting. Now, I'm not in charge of the recruiting, but I heard that for this season, it was kind of hard to find members, so I just thought I would do some advertising. Again, we're not a top guild, but we're no longer a bottom guild, and we have been climbing. Like, when I joined, we weren't top 100. Then I think we hit like 80 something into like 70 something. Then we hit 50. I think we hit 69, then 50, then 53, then 38, and now 25. So the trajectory is pretty good, right? And obviously the goal is top 20. We're never, or at least I don't think we're ever aiming higher than top 20, but I think top 20 is doable. Like, we had really good pace this Abyssal Expedition. We were on the final boss like 2 days in or something like that. Or we were a bit stalled at Nihilagate. I'm just yapping, but it was, yeah, again, I spent a lot of time, so I have a lot of passion for the Abyssal Expedition, because I think it's the best game mode. But it's definitely hard to get into, and also like the rewards are completely laughable. Obviously you get a nice frame, but how nice is the frame? I don't even know. And the actual rewards, I can't even view them in here, but obviously they are completely dumb. Like they're basically nothing, but it is like the only truly competitive game mode. You could say Cursed Realm and Nightmare Court are competitive game modes, but it's so different because this is like a team effort, and I love like team video games, like team-based competition video games. And yeah, it's just nice with some camaraderie. But enough yapping. If any of you guys has sat through my Abyssal Expedition yapping, I'm truly sorry. I'll end the video now, and I'll see you guys next Sunday for hopefully a better Cursed Realm round, because this one was truly painful with the RNG.